Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Frenchitivity podcast. Kent and Michelle French with you. It is time to continue our journey through Thailand. This is part 3.
Can you tell we love Thailand? We just want to keep talking about
Let's just keep it going. We head to the island of Koh Lanta, certainly one of our favorites.
Yes, absolutely. We met some dear friends. An incredible shift in how we formed community happens during this leg of the journey, and some amazing tours to tell you about, and very special people that we met.
Well, you met your spirit leader. Is that what you want to call it?
Guide, I think I'd go with my spirit guide.
Spirit guide.
Yes, Michelle meets her spirit guide.
Now we're going to tour the Fifi Islands. It's all coming at you here. And Michelle, what do we want people to do when it comes to the podcast, right?
Well, we would love it if you would follow along, share it with anybody else that you think it may inspire.
Yes.
But if you give us a follow, a rating, a review, it means the world to us. It means other people get to see this podcast and we can share the message of what travel has done for our family and what we believe it can do for anyone's family.
Throw the pen and paper away because, Michelle, there is a travel guide.
There is a travel guide, Frenchitivity.com/Thailand-3. And all of the details for all the places and people that we talk about will be inside.
Again, this is the Frenchitivity podcast. We hope this conversation inspires you.
Kept Michelle and Everly spreading Frenchitivity all over the world. This entire family creating possibilities all over the world. Frenchitivity, Frenchitivity, all over the world.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Frenchitivity podcast. Kent and Michelle French back with you for another edition of Thailand. Yes, this is part 3. Could there be a part 4? I don't know. There might be, because we love talking about Thailand. And if you've been following along with us, you know that we are back in Southern California in our home, but we need to reconnect with Thailand. We need the happiness of Thailand.
I connect with Thailand every day.
You wearing your Thailand shorts? You're not wearing your Thailand shorts today.
No, I wore them yesterday.
Wore them yesterday, yes. So we have taken you through the first 2 legs of our trip to Thailand, and now it's time to go to the island of Koh Lanta.
Koh Lanta. Yes. And we hope that segmenting Thailand in this way is helpful, because if you're going to a certain area, you could just like pop in and listen to a certain segment. So that's the intention, because each of them did sort of have a different feel and a different pace. So if you're just joining us, there are 2 other episodes, and like Kent teased, maybe a 4th. But
Yes.
this is special because Koh Lanta had a lot of connectivity and other things happening. So a really special time for us.
If you're watching on the Frenchitivity YouTube channel, yes, these are SeaWorld coffee mugs that we have in the shot, because we need coffee.
Is it product placement? We are not sponsored by SeaWorld, though that would be lovely.
We have, but
if anyone knows anyone,
it's dolphins and it's sea turtles. So
and
it's
you felt like it was thematic.
It is thematic based on our experience in Thailand, for sure.
Yes.
And later on in Bali, it's very telling of what's in store. Anyways, let's talk about Koh Lanta.
Let's talk about Koh Lanta.
One word I like to use when we bring up Koh Lanta is the word community. And when we got to Koh Lanta, Michelle said, well, first of all, let me back up. We found a place called Lanta Sea House.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed in several rooms at the Lanta Sea House.
Because we kept extending our stay because we didn't want to leave. And we kept staying longer.
Didn't want to leave.
We didn't want to leave.
And let me tell you why. One of the many reasons we did not want to leave was community. So we got there, and you're going to have to help me with this because you drove this whole thing when we got there.
Yeah, well, this goes way back, actually. But yes.
Yeah, so
ahead.
I'll touch on it. You can go in the way back machine. So we get to Thailand. We get to Koh Lanta.
Took a ferry to Koh
Took
Lanta.
a ferry, and just any type of travel day, you're kind of tired and you just kind of want to get acquainted with your surroundings. So we get to the Lanta Sea House. It is beautiful. It's right on the water. It's very quaint. And Michelle's like, "We're going to
I'm like, let's go.
Barbecue tonight."
Don't get
I'm
comfortable.
Like, what are we?
We're
going to a barbecue tonight?
Pool party. Thank you very much.
Sorry, pool party / barbecue. It was part of a world hub. Is that what you call it? How would you say it?
Yeah. A World School Hub.
A World School Hub called Bliss. That Michelle, again, I'll let her kind of tell this story, but she's like, I think we should go. There's going to be a lot of families there, a lot of like-minded families traveling the world with kids. It'd be great for Everly. It'd be great for us. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Yeah, for Everly, I'll go for Everly because I think at this point in time in the trip, she needs some kids her age to interact and have that experience. But I'm good. Like, things are good. We're getting along. Things are great. I don't need to meet any other people on this trip. So we go to this pool party barbecue.
And it changed our lives. Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah. Well, so the backup part of it is that when we decided to travel the world, you start finding yourself in places where people have done things that you never would have known and you didn't know other people did this. So I had been really fortunate to meet a friend who had traveled the world with her family the year before. And she had asked us, we actually did a podcast with her, Heather Wick, when we were in Croatia. And she asked, have you connected with any hubs yet? And we're like, we're good. We haven't done that. And she's like, well, when you go to Thailand, that was like one of our most amazing locations with these travel hubs, world school hubs, family hubs, other people who are traveling. And so I was like, yeah, maybe. And she goes, I have a friend that's going to Chiang Mai, which is in the northern part of Thailand, around the same time. And let me ask her if she knows about any hubs currently running, because they're not always available. Anyway, so she connects us with this other person and she says, we're not going to be in the southern part of Thailand, but I know about this hub called Bliss, and check it out. I haven't been to that one, but I've heard really good things. So I'm like, okay. So I do this research, I get connected in, they're so responsive, and there's this WhatsApp chain of the activities that are happening. And I mean, it was so welcoming from afar. We're planning this before we were even in Thailand. And so one of the things that they communicated about was this pool party. And these are the places where you can first come and meet everyone. And I mean, from the second I saw it, I was like, it just felt so right. Like, this is what we're looking for. Other people who have decided to make this leap, and I'm all in.
It felt like a lot to me, obviously. It's like,
I don't know. I mean, there was just like no doubt in my mind. It's one of those things where you're just like, there was just no doubt in my mind that we wanted to go. So we figure out like where this particular property was located. It was not too far from where we were staying, and we get a tuk-tuk to take us over there and walk up, and you can hear the music and you can hear the joy and people chatting and talking. And we walk in,
and kids, and just the sound of kids, laughter and having fun in the pool. And it was just all of a sudden like, where are we?
Where are we? And we are greeted literally with open arms from our dear friend now, Dion. And life has never been the same.
Never been the same. So Dion and Nadeem, the Arshads, they run this Bliss World School Hub. So they were phenomenal. We've had them on a podcast before talking about this hub and talking about their journey. And so that being said, you're meeting all these families from around the world with kids that are Everly's age, younger than Ev, older than Ev. They're all in the pool. There must have been 20 families there.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe.
I don't even know. There's a cool drone shot actually now of like all of us gathered by the pool, and it's when we just.
There's a DJ, or one of the parents is DJing.
Yeah, Matt's a cool DJ. Who also holds with Bliss. Yeah, totally.
Anyways,
awesome.
My mind's blown. As you can imagine, we're 4 months into our journey.
Ken
there's
didn't want to go to this.
There's
thing.
some fatigue going on there, and you just kind of, you're kind of in it. So yeah, we get there, and mind's blown. People are just off the charts wonderful. And two, as we've gone on in this journey, we have changed as people. Our priorities have changed, and our conversations, and I don't want to say values, because we always had these values, but certainly their values have been enhanced.
We're living by them now. We're talking about them. We're identifying them in a different way.
We find these families and couples who are living and appreciating the same things that we're trying to do. And it was really fun and inspiring and fulfilling, and really almost energized you. Not that we needed to be energized, but certainly like, hey, you guys are doing the right thing. This is like, look at all of us. Look at what we're doing. And these are families that have been on the road full time for 3 years, 3 months. It was the spectrum.
Yes.
And so it was wonderful to connect immediately. And they just come up and where are you from? What are you doing? How are you doing? Like everything was it was a wonderful conversation. So, so that changed our trajectory of our trip. And one of the biggest reasons was these families, and the Arshads obviously being one. And we met the Swamis, Chinmay, Rashmi, and their young daughter Gia, who were there. And later we would meet another family, which we'll talk about in a bit. But this Bliss group is not just getting together with families, but it's activities. So now you want to be, so slow travel is something we've talked about, and ingraining yourself in the culture and the community. And this, Michelle, was a time when Bliss really gave us an opportunity to ingrain ourselves in the culture.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that because, these families are in this area because, it's extremely family friendly and it's so welcoming. And this is a very important distinction that, yes, we connect with these families, and it's important to all these families that we are living in Thailand in someone's community. And so we do activities that help us learn about the culture, help us contribute back to this community that we're now living in, and have established kind of the home base. Many people for several months, us for many weeks. And so, yeah, there's kids activities, but it was introducing us to art that was, local art in Thailand. It was taking us to cooking classes that were by local artisans. It was doing beach cleanups to contribute back and keep the beaches clean. It was going on snorkeling expeditions and dive expeditions to understand like the local marine life. I mean, it was very important that, yes, these were families who were coming and kind of inhabiting and having this World School Hub, but we're also making sure that we're very respectful of this land that we're now on, which was extremely special to us as well. But yeah, all the activities, like there was stuff for adults, the workout classes and mom's nights and dad's nights and kids art and kids activities and game days. Game days are so much fun. We still do that now. So just, it just keeping you connected.
Well, too, you said game days, not game day, but game days. And what was happening, these are reoccurring classes and reoccurring events.
Yeah, they have like a regular schedule.
So it's like every Thursday would be the workout class, then the mom's night out, the dad's night out, then the crafting classes, the game days. So you're not just visiting Koh Lanta, you're now living in Koh Lanta.
Yeah. And taking those activities to other local establishments. So we would always meet at this was the other really cool thing in Koh Lanta, is that the resorts like on the beach and have pools or covered areas would be very welcoming. And so we could reserve these areas. And so then you're also giving back to the local community, going to these businesses, order food while you're there, talk to the owners. It's all how we met other owners and did other features while we were traveling. So it was just like so connected and everything made sense. Everything made sense.
Well, and we said this in the previous two podcasts about Thailand, but the people are so welcoming, so friendly. I mean, the land of smiles for a reason, and they embraced us as we embraced them, and it was kind of a mano a mano type thing. So it was amazing. Anyways, we will
go to Koh Lanta. End of podcast. Period.
Yeah, drop the mic on Koh Lanta, and as Michelle mentioned, Koh Lanta is a very popular destination for families. If I found that out. You kind of knew that going in,
especially for a long stay.
As we steered our way around to Koh Lanta. So, and everything we're talking about here, there's really no particular order. We certainly took some notes down to make sure we touched on things.
So that if you decide to go to Koh Lanta, that you can understand some of the things that are available to you there, because you may not be going to engage in a hub in a world school and stay a long time. And so we still recommend it, even for a
What's your coffee mug there?
That's my mug. For a short visit. So we'll give you some tips and adventures to go on.
And the parents that we met are incredibly talented, right? So this is an opportunity for them to showcase their talents and do their things. And as we mentioned, one of the gentlemen was an incredible DJ. And then this other dad named Daniel from Germany, I believe, right? Pause. He did a light show for everybody.
So
we're seeing fire shows the whole time, right?
Yeah, lots of fire shows, and we've been many places where there's fire shows, and I was in the event world for a very long time, and you're always looking for like the next cool thing, and now there's so many cool things. There's drone shows and there's everything's cool. But until this moment, I had never seen anything quite like this. It's like his own personal LED light show.
To music.
Ooh, I
So
don't know how to
spinning,
explain it.
well, but there's, again, we're going to refer you to our YouTube channel a lot on this one because we did a lot of features,
Yeah,
but
you
we did a
can watch
feature
it.
on Daniel about what he did here because we found it so fascinating. And he's spinning these LED lights, but as he's doing it, there's shapes and there's images, and he did
Yeah.
it and to music.
He draws.
And one of them was Star Wars, and he has got TIE fighters and lightsabers and the music, and he hit everything
dramatic.
choreography.
It's like a
and
workout.
it was-
I don't know. The whole thing
Yeah,
was
he was out there
very cool.
sweating, doing his thing. I mean, it was impressive. So, anyways, kudos to Daniel as one of the many talented parents that we met.
And actually, he's
along
like
the
a
way.
financial advisor.
And again,
The spinning DJ light guy.
and again, you
I mean,
find
and the DJ is also, like a digital nomad and does marketing for people.
there's, like,
I mean, it's
crypto as well or something.
Oh
that
yeah,
they
and
would-
Daniel does crypto. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like
so. But no, you're asking them too. Like, so you're doing this and you're entertaining all these.
but
these
like you have a
kids,
life.
But he's traveling full time.
Yes, and you've integrated your passion, your
Yeah.
talent, your work, your life, your family into a zone. I mean, we separate things a lot. It seems, and that works for us sometimes. But this was like, wait, you're just like doing it all at once. Like, what
Yeah.
is? I don't know.
It's like
just
it's
so cool.
insane. So,
So great. Anyway,
I
so
will,
light shows,
so-
but fire shows along the beach for sure
Yeah.
at night. Many fire shows, and those youth a lot of times or families that have done that. It's quite the tradition. You can find ones that are so well done and so beautiful and safe. And then you can also find ones where you're like, kids, I think you should go home and go to bed. I don't know what you're doing. Everly was very worried about some of these
very worried.
people.
Yes. Yeah, and I guess too, as we are retelling our story, we certainly are hoping to inspire you who are listening, but we also want to give some things that we learned. And for us, finding community and finding this hub was a game changer for us. So we would highly recommend doing some research as a family, even as a traveling couple, as an individual. They embraced everybody. It was really wonderful. So I can't say enough about Bliss and Nadim and Dion and what they've done. So it was fantastic. Another highlight of our trip to Koh Lanta was Yu,
Oh, you.
and spelled yo-yo. But she became our resident tuk-tuk driver, and it was, I don't know, I can't even explain the interaction, how I met her, and I thought I was I thought I was confident in my negotiating skills, and apparently she just laughed at me because I said 200 baht, like whatever I was trying to negotiate.
Well, it became like this like inside joke
inside
between the two
joke
of you that everywhere she was going to take us.
200 baht.
200 baht.
Yeah, so I don't know. I probably ended up paying her more than I should have.
Well,
'cause it was
she's
200 baht for everything.
Yeah, she's great because she has stories of. I mean, we're not the only ones that she's had this amazing
sure.
bond with. She's like very good at connecting with her
Establishing
clients,
a relationship.
establishing a relationship. But it was so nice for us because then, and you need to go a lot of places. Like you can walk to certain places and there's scooters, but we had chosen not to do a scooter. Which if we went back and Everly was a little bit older,
Yes.
we would. But it's
Our own
otherwise-
philosophy on that.
yeah, exactly. It's a little bit difficult to get around otherwise. And so you hire these tuk-tuk drivers. They're amazing, but the roads are a bit rough and whatever. But she had this little sidecar. Oh, you're so great. So she has a moped and that has this like sidecar on it. And so you like ride it. And so she's next to you. She's talking to you. And Kent's like, one point he's like, can I interview you? She's like, okay. So he does the interview while she's driving
Yeah.
us. Everyone are like, is this
I
a
don't know
good
if that was
idea?
the
I don't know
safest
what's
thing I've ever
happening.
done.
And the roads are literally just like
Built
bouncing up and down.
And I'm hoping the sidecar doesn't detach from the scooter.
But she's just got it. She knows. And like we stopped and see her family one day. And then she took us to a night market one time and her family, I don't know. It was just,
She was terrific,
amazing.
and she was
So-
always on time.
Always
Like,
on time.
whenever she said she was going to be there,
Yes.
highly communicative, and
Yes.
and she and the rest of the folks there in Koh Lanta and Thailand, for that matter, during high tourism season, they work every single
every day. And like 14, 20 hours a day.
Every
I mean,
day,
just,
yeah.
it's when they,
She was wonderful.
So another tip, just to have a reliable driver that you form a relationship
Yeah.
with, because then you can make sure they're going to show up. You can kind of formulate how you would like to compensate them and know that you kind of have that all built in already and take care of. And anyway,
She was special. And again, another person we stay in contact with,
Yeah.
and through, thank goodness
She's one
for
of our
social media.
biggest fans. I love it.
Yes, she's wonderful. So, and she's like, oh, look me up when you come back, which we will be coming
so
back.
message us if you're going to Koh Lanta and we'll hook you up.
For sure. Okay, so experiential things are so important to us. And again, I defer to Michelle on this because she did a wonderful job integrating us into whatever town community that we were in. And we talked about a cooking class with Juan D and some wonderful things. But then all of a sudden, we're going to a jewelry making.
Yeah, I had to work hard on this one, though, didn't I?
Yeah, sterling silver jewelry making in Koh Lanta, a place called Silver Gypsy.
Silver Gypsy. So I heard about Silver Gypsy through a friend.
She's got a lot of friends.
And they do these classes, these workshops, but they don't do that many of them, and they sell out way in advance. And so I was in contact with Jess, one of the owners, and all the classes were full, and just like it wasn't going to happen. So we're like, well, we'll just come to the shop and just see what you do. And then as it turned out, they had an opening and we were able to jump on it. But it's only for adults or over like 15 and over. So Everly came with us, but wasn't able to actually make a piece. But you go to Silver Gypsy, and Jess and Tack have this.
Tack is a silversmith, this incredible silversmith.
He's beyond. And they have this beautiful shop. And if you follow them on social, she shows pieces all the time. They're absolutely stunning. But you can go and you get to workshop. So you actually get to work with the metal. You pick out a gem, a natural stone.
Yeah.
You polish the stone.
In a setting. You pick out a setting as well.
You pick out a setting. And it's just, and their dynamic is really cool because Jess is like kind of showing you and teaching you and outgoing and kind of, and Talk is very serious, but you can get him to open up a little bit.
You can. And you are doing it. So, I mean, we had the open flame going on, and we're melting the sterling silver, and we're doing all kind, and we're polishing the stone, and the ring slipped out of my hand and went against the wall.
Yes, it did.
And on the wheel, the spinning wheel, and it was beautiful. So again,
and they were so worried about the stone.
I know.
I flew out twice.
It flew out twice.
So I had to check to make sure you didn't crack the stone.
I know. I think there's a little bit of a
it's a
hairline in there.
Birthmark.
Yes, but we had rings made, and it was kind of cool because we didn't take our wedding rings with us on this trip. We put them in a safety deposit box, and so it was kind of cool that we had these rings made, and it was kind of fun to be able to wear these. And by the way, though, mine is massive.
We should have it right now. We should go get them. Kent's is.
It takes up half my finger. Yeah, it's fantastic. They're so cool though, so special, and Everly kind of helped pick stuff out. We got a necklace for her, and then Michelle interviewed Jess. So again, a wonderful part of this trip is the people and the stories, and finding out her story and how her and Tack, met, and how they established this business and why they do what they do.
Yeah, why they live. Tack is from Thailand, but why Jess lives in Koh Lanta.
Yeah.
And
just wonder, it's just incredible people, incredible stories, and it was just a wonderful family experience. Even though that Ev could not participate, she was picking stuff out. We got her to certainly participate as much as she could.
Yeah, she still helped a little.
Yeah, so I mean, again, experiential things that you can do as a family resonate so much, and obviously create even more memories, which is fantastic. Where do you want to go next? I have something else on my list here. Where do you want to go?
Oh, well, would you like to talk about all the restaurants along the beachfront?
Yep.
And just, I mean, same thing, very family friendly, cool stories. We're just so curious. We just ask everybody like why they're there, what their story is. And then we get to learn so many incredible things about people. So Boogie Bar?
Boogie Bar.
I mean, amongst so many others, but we'll just talk about Boogie Bar for a minute.
Yeah, Boogie Bar. So Lanta by the Sea, we highly recommend. Again, another spot where you can stay, and they're for the most part, a lot of them are detached little villas. There are some that are attached to the upper and a lower story, but for the most part detached, and just a wonderful place, and right on the sand. So what do? You walk out on the sand of the beach, and you just kind of walk either right or left, and just kind of explore. And there are just restaurants and bars and shops and things right on the sand. It's just fantastic, right? I mean, just everything we've ever wanted. Like, we live in Southern California, and it's tough to find, a place where you could sit and have your feet in the sand.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Why is it so tough? Like, so anyways, it's just amazing. And one of the places Michelle mentioned is called the Boogie Bar. Reggae music. They have like half of this ship that's on the sand that you can sit on and lay on. And Ev, we had
like we would reserve
lunch.
that
We'd
as
reserve
our seat.
that spot. And there was a waiter named A who was trying to start his own restaurant. And he was just fascinating. And we talked to him. And just this open air music, the vibe, just all came together. It's just kind of, it's our thing, right?
It's our thing. It is. And the food the food in Thailand is just so good. Just everything is incredible. So yes, A. Where were you going to go next? What did you have on your mind?
Well, Michelle is a certified yoga instructor. And she is very well versed when it comes to meditation and really into breath work. And if you can find a yoga studio, Michelle will certainly has got her eyes peeled on it. And it just so happens next to the Lanta Sea House, keep pumping that up, right next door, there was a place called Soul Fitness.
Yes.
Now check this out. There's a sign outside that said yoga, fitness, breath work, and ice bath.
Yeah, I'm never leaving. I'm just going to live.
I mean, I would lose her. Like every night I go, where's mommy? I'm sure she's next door.
Next door.
Yeah. So
yes.
So Michelle goes over there and befriends.
Yes. So I went and took a yoga class from Magnus. And
can we just sit on that for a minute? His name's Magnus.
From Sweden.
It's from Sweden. So if I say Magnus from Sweden, can you just put a picture in your mind of what Magnus would look like?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what he looked like. Just, chiseled, man bun.
Yep.
Good looking older guy. I say older, he's probably younger than I am. But I mean, just a stud.
I appreciate that.
He's a stud.
Yeah, and a very, very good yoga instructor. So I took a yoga class. I wasn't really sure what to expect. And the studio is beautiful, just kind of same thing, like beautiful drapes and open air, and you can see the beach, and it's pretty incredible. And so
pretty incredible. I mean, come on.
Like I said, I was like never going to leave. So Magnus led a really lovely class. I really liked his pace, and he did a great job. And so I was chatting with him afterwards, like Kent said, my friend Magnus. I was talking with him afterwards about where he was from and why he was in Koh Lanta. And we just started chatting. And then he was mentioning that he also did the breathwork classes, and there were a couple available and different things. And anyway, so I said, I'm intrigued by all this. Maybe I'll come back for breathwork, but also, would you be open to talking to my husband and I and doing an interview? And because, we're asking her, and because it just was all fitting together for me. And he's like, yeah, I would, I'd be up for that. So anyway, so I went back and took a breathwork class, which was extremely powerful. It was absolutely amazing. We went through 4 different techniques. That is a whole nother podcast. And you filmed part of that class too, right?
I did.
And then you and Everly left, and then we came back another time and had a full interview with Magnus as well. And he even took us through some of the breath work on our interview with him. So, and we're still in touch, and
we're going to put his information in here as well.
Perfect. Yeah. So yes, just in the proximity, of course, was incredible that this place was right next door, but then everything about that beachfront in Thailand spoke just yoga and meditation. And so I actually went out every morning to the beach and did yoga and meditated and journaled. And the environment there was so inviting for that. And then having the studio next door, going through classes with Magnus. Just highly recommend.
Unreal. So if Yoda had an older brother, good-looking brother from Sweden who taught breathwork and had a man bun, it would be Magnus. He was the Yoda of breathwork. I mean, when he spoke, he was so introspective and philosophical, and you just could listen to him all day long about just life.
Yes.
It wasn't just his breathwork. It was just listening to him talk. He was so well-traveled and well-educated. It was fascinating. Like I had to am I recording this? Like you're just like,
it's a really powerful story.
Really powerful story. So really cool. I mean, yeah, it was fantastic.
Yes. So that was a gift. I think I needed that in that part of the journey as well. I had been doing my own practice and, had kind of continued that, but I sort of needed someone that could lead me and guide me in that moment. And thankfully it was Magnus. So
Yeah. He was great. So we thank Magnus, and again, another person we stay in touch with, and we'll put his information on. And
we may do an online class.
He
or something
was
with
very
him.
into continuing the conversation and doing more with us. And I think he could be a part of our podcast at some point. But yeah, he's terrific. So we could talk about Magnus all day long. But again, back to the Frenchitivity YouTube channel. Michelle sits down with Magnus. They actually go through some breath work. He demonstrates kind of what he goes through and why he does what he does, and it's fascinating. So please check it out. Staying with the theme of being on the beach. This is just a little tidbit, though, that I had a lot of fun with Everly on.
Oh, yes.
At night, so we'd walk the beach, we'd go to dinner, we'd listen to music, we'd find somewhere to eat, whatever it may be. But when we're coming home, we'd stop by and get an ice cream at the...
the market.
It was like a little... It was very similar to like a 7-Eleven-ish type place, but it was a little market on the sand that had everything. You know those markets that have everything from boogie boards to bathing suits to goggles to suntan lotion to food to ice cream. It had everything, right? So we would... Ed would always ask if we could get like an ice cream on the way home.
Yeah.
So we could do that. And then we would walk the sand. Now it's dark, but the lights from the restaurants and the shops are shining on the sand. And you can make out these tracks on the sand. These just lines, squiggly lines are just going everywhere. And like, what is that? So we decided to start following them one night. They are hermit crabs. And they're not just small crabs.
No,
There's some big hermit crabs with these shells. They look like guitar cases on their backs. I mean, and so we did this thing called the Crab Chronicles, and we had some fun with it. And so I had a camera, and Ed would hold it every now and then, and we would hunt for these hermit crabs at night. You hear my voice.
Cool.
I'm like, we hunt for the hermit crabs at night.
Meanwhile, I'm like in the surf, looking at the stars. I'm like in a whole nother world.
She's like,
breathing, doing my breath work in the waves. I don't know, being one with the ocean, and they're like chasing crabs. It was very sweet.
She's a beauty. Let's follow this track, Everly. She's like, oh my gosh, what do we have? Yeah,
it was really cool. So yeah, the Crab Chronicles. The Crab Chronicles. They're not the Hermit Crab Chronicles. The Crab Chronicles.
It could be, but those
a whole other feature.
Once again, those are on YouTube.
Yeah, it was very cool. And then, still continuing with that, we wanted to explore some other islands. Obviously, Thailand has lots of islands and different places that you hear about. And so we decided to do it on a tour to go see the Phi Phi Islands and some other stops along the way. We decided to do it actually on a more public tour after we had gotten some advice about where to go. So what kind of boat is that?
It's a speedboat.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it was bigger.
Big speedboat.
So there was maybe 20 people on there? Yeah.
And we'd heard that the ride over can be pretty rough, but we loved it. I don't know. We like having a little bump and wave, and I don't know, with Everly, we weren't totally sure, but we're like laughing and having the best time with it.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who are like,
green,
not liking it at all. So you do have to realize what the conditions might be and understand. But it really moves pretty, I don't know. I was going to say
it moves pretty fast. Yeah. No,
it goes fast.
Yeah. I.e. speedboat. That's why it's called a speedboat.
Is that why it goes like that?
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we had an amazing guide, Coke.
Did we talk to Coke? Yes, we did.
I know. I mean, are you tired of hearing us say that?
He was wonderful.
I lost my bump. Oh, there we go.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
So we went to, first stop was Bamboo Beach, I think.
Bamboo Island.
Bamboo Island, beautiful sand, and you could snorkel. Anyway, the whole thing was a snorkel trip, but it had a lot of other goodies included, and really great way to see the islands. And we definitely wanted to see Phi Phi Island. Some people do stay, and we weren't sure if it's a place we wanted to actually, spend the night and do overnights or not, but we definitely wanted to see it. So this was a great way to just kind of understand the islands where we were and make a few stops.
Yeah. And so we did if you've heard this before, let me know. We did a whole feature on this about the advantages of a public speedboat tour of the Phi Phi Islands as opposed to a private tour, which we'll get to in a moment, which we did as well, which picked us up right outside our hotel at Lanta Sea House. But on this public tour with Coke, it's very organized. You're moving from one to the other. It is certainly timed, so you can't just kind of at your own leisure hang out as long as you want. But that being said, you are moving around. You get some education from Coke, some history. We went to Bamboo Island, as Michelle mentioned, which was absolutely beautiful. The water is crystal clear. The sand is so white. I mean, they just pull up to the sand. You jump into the water and you go and you hang out for 45 minutes. Then you're back on your boat. Then we went to Maya Bay. Now, this is one of the tourist stops that we've learned, because that's where the beach with Leonardo DiCaprio, I should know him, he's our friend someday. That's where that movie was filmed. And so we went there and it was just packed. I mean, people everywhere, but they do a nice job. They keep you out of the water. You can only go knee deep because of the reef sharks there, and they're protecting the coral and the sharks and trying to get all the life back because it was so populated. So it was cool to go to a place like that. We went to Fifi Don for lunch, had a buffet lunch, and then saw the Viking Cave and Monkey Beach. So it kind of took you all over. You kind of got a taste of everything. On that trip.
I think it was a good way to get a taste of everything. Then you would understand maybe where you want to go back, spend more time. And there are crowds, obviously, at each of those. You have to understand like what you want to tolerate in terms of what you want to see. But it's worth it because you do get to see things you wouldn't otherwise see. And sometimes I think back of it and I'm like, oh, but I don't remember it. I look at some of our photos and videos and I'm like, oh, that was like really crowded. But it was like, did it feel that way?
No.
We were just kind of having our own experience, and a really great way to see everything. So Phi Phi Don, definitely. I think that was an island that was really, really popular a long time ago. And it really has been kind of overpopulated tourist wise, but it's still, I don't know, it's still worth seeing, still worth going.
Oh, it is.
Sure.
I mean, and by the way, we're the high season, right? I mean, so this is
sure.
what it is. These are very high, volume tourist attractions. And also we've touched on before, the monkeys are mischievous. Just a heads up on that. There is like clothing that are hanging from the trees in some of these places that Coke, our tour guide.
That was the first time we heard the stories.
We heard the stories. Steals clothing from people. And why they steal it is they want something in return. Food.
Then we had our own experience with that, actually, that we've already. But yes, that was the first time that we realized they are very smart. They are very smart.
Do you want to talk about the private real quick? Because there's certainly there's one stop on the private I want to touch on.
Oh, okay. Which one? Okay, so the biggest thing we were saying is on the public tour, what was amazing about it is the same thing, like very well organized. They're just going to take you where they've let you know they're going to take you. English speaking guide, if you want that.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yep.
So it's, and you're with a lot of other people and you move at that pace, and it was amazing. So then we were in Koh Lanta, we decided to do a private tour. So a longboat tour, private tour to some other snorkel spots. Absolutely. I mean, some places I don't even understand how they know that they can time the tides right to go into the cave and these things. It's just absolutely incredible. However, it was a little bit more of a language barrier. So we wanted to, be clear about how, our part and how we could try to communicate, because we stopped at a snorkel spot that had a lot of jellyfish, and we saw other boats going away from it, and our guides were still sort of encouraging us. And so, being able to advocate for yourself, being able to communicate in a way very respectfully of just we're not comfortable. But what ended up happening is there are some very specific spots on this tour. Because one of them were like, oh, no, thank you. The boat captain was like, kind of, okay, I know a spot. And he took us to this cove where there was no one. And we snorkeled. And so we went off the beaten path, which was very cool. You wouldn't do that in any other kind of public tour. But it did take some, trying to finesse the communication and trying to understand. So some beauty and some undiscovered spots, but it also came with a little bit of how we communicate.
A little effort and trying to push a little bit. And
how do we do this?
Michelle was actually texting the owner of the company, trying to understand how do we communicate? How do we do this and change course a little bit? As you mentioned, these jellyfish are when she said jellyfish, I mean, they're probably silver dollars, if not a little bit bigger than that. And they're all over.
They're gorgeous. But you're not going to get in the water.
You're looking in the water and you're like, huh. And they're like, oh, no, this little you just get
little stings.
Little
stings. I want no stings.
I think we're okay. I think we don't
because you're
need
not in any kind of, when we go scuba diving or other snorkeling, sometimes you're even in a lycra, a little bodysuit or what. I mean, you're not. This water's so warm, so you have nothing. So just no, thank you.
So I'll back up just for a second. So you go to the public tour and you get picked up kind of a shuttle, if you will. You take into a port, and there are just people everywhere, and there are different boats going to different places. Again, we'll put it in Nang On Travel and Tour is where we met Coke and did the public tour. But this one, the private one, again, Lanta Sea House, the longtail boat pulls up in front of our on the
this is
sand.
epic. This is just so cool.
And
you just get picked up
it's
by your
just
boat on the
us,
beach.
right? And we just walk into the water, jump on this longtail boat. It's just us three, and off we go. I mean, so that was pretty amazing.
We haven't mentioned that there'll be a guide.
Yes.
We will have a guide because I know we start talking about these and then you're like, which one are you talking about? And how would we ever book this? We don't know.
I know.
So we are doing a guide as we have done with the other locations. So Frenchitivity.com/Thailand-3. This will be, but we'll put it in the show notes and make sure you have all the links to it. But I will put these tours and these locations in so you know what we're talking about.
So as the private tour, without diving into too much, but certainly a few things stood out to me. We went through the mangroves. And so it was kind of cool to watch. Again, mischievous monkeys. There were monkeys that were actually jumping on boats.
Yeah. Well, some of the people get closer.
They're getting too close.
And then sometimes they do taunt them with some food. Which
they
is
gave us watermelon to throw out to them, right? So we're throwing it. But now all of a sudden we looked and there was a monkey that actually swam onto the back of a boat.
Yes. Pretty far. Those monkeys can swim.
It's insane, right? So we saw that. We mentioned the lunch on the public tour, which was a big buffet lunch, right, with a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
This
lunch
oh my God, was like, I think this almost was the one moment that kind of put this in a different stratosphere. Yeah. I have it is Khao Nagai or Khao Nai, and I apologize, I'm not going to say that correctly, but so we go to this beach, and part of our tour is we get this. They have this lunch made for us.
They spread out these blankets for us. They bring out this food. I mean,
just us three.
Just us three.
On this secluded beach, and then there was a beach swing, and then we met some other really nice people afterwards.
Who were like the only other people.
Only other people on this beach. It was like, where are we?
This lady's like, I'll take pictures of you and your daughter. And Everly was like not vibing it for some reason. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know. But anyway, she did take these beautiful pictures, and
but we have pictures of us the gentlemen that were on our tour, they just stayed on the boat and we were on this blanket and just eating this wonderful meal, and it was like, this is amazing. It was really cool. Talk about serenity, being secluded, and that really was one of those things too where you really get to be alone and experience the beauty of and the serenity of Thailand. The other moment I want to bring up,
the Cove.
Yes. And you mentioned the tides. How in the world do they time these tides?
Emerald Cove?
Emerald Cove. Well done.
Emerald Cove.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Check this out. Okay, this is insane. And by the way, I was definitely lost in this one.
That's right. Oh, you were. Okay.
If you see the footage, I'll just say this. If you see the footage, it looks like I'm drowning, and you don't see Michelle and Everly anywhere in the footage because I lost them.
I don't know what happened, which is not, this is really not, in hindsight, really not good. You got to stay with your people, but I don't know what happened. So anyway, so Emerald Cove. So as you approach it, there is actually, it's like, I don't know, here it'd be like a national park, like a national beach. Anyway, so you have to pay like an admission to be in this area. Remember this boat came over to us and we had to pay. And then we're trying to communicate with them about the tides because we're like, so basically what happens is you get in the water and you go through
but they put a lifesaver out there for Ev, right?
Yeah, you can hold on to exactly. She could hold on to something.
Headlamps.
They give you headlamps and you swim into a cave that is pitch black.
For a while.
For a long time. And you're just drifting along. Like if you once you know, you're like, oh, okay, I could have maybe, but anyway, so you're drifting through this dark cave and it's very cool, but you're also like, what is
happening? There are full of people going each way. It's like a little mini expressway. And so you can hear people, you can't see them, you can see headlamps bouncing around. Then all of a sudden you're kind of running into people a little bit.
You're making it sound
I'm painting a picture that doesn't
weird.
sound wonderful,
I was
but
going with this magical drift through a cave. Again, Kent wasn't with us, so he wasn't having the same experience.
I'm trying to swim and catch up with my family, holding a camera.
Trying to film this. These are the moments where you're like Instagram beauty versus like Instagram reality, life reality. Like we don't always post.
I'm glad you had a wonderful experience.
I did. So, but because I'm also with our daughter and making sure she's like in a dark cave holding on. So you're kind of trying to drift, but you're holding onto the rock. Anyway, the guide is kind of trying to guide you, but Kent separates from us, not on purpose. And when we do look back,
it's funny now.
All we see is like bopping along, and he's in this life jacket that's like over
So
his
the life
head.
jacket I had on
didn't have a bottom strap.
didn't have a bottom strap, so I was like the headless horseman.
Like
you know what
bopping.
it comes.
He was like the bopper.
And I'm holding a camera,
Okay.
and all I see is Michelle and Everly laughing. And so, but by the way, let me paint this picture because
You're already.
No, I'll paint another picture. No, this is really a
Which
good one.
one is this one?
So as we're getting there, and I'm now finding this. I found a gentleman and his son who I'm conversing with as I'm getting out. Like
Maybe this is why you lost us.
We're in
You're
this
just having a
together.
chat.
We're in this together. I'm like, we're gonna make it. So then you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so you start. It starts to
think
open.
on that for
it
a
starts
minute.
to
So it's
open
like
up.
a rough journey, and then
It
a
is.
light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You
Pause,
can dive into that all you
breathe.
want. Where's Magnus?
Magnus.
So you get all of a sudden you see this light. It becomes brighter and brighter, and it opens up, and finally you can stand, and you look, and it opens up into this giant circular private beach. High cliffs all around,
limestone cliffs,
sand. It's quite big, and it's beautiful. And I'm a little jaded by the time I get up there because I'm trying to pull down my life jacket, and these two are just like loving it. And I'm like,
we'd already gotten it, so we came into this. You come into this circular thing, and then you're just like, oh, it's all so worth it. And you're looking up, and you just like it's endless, but you're in this private thing. And then I'm like, oh, but it's just so incredible. And then you can get off onto the side of the beach and walk the beach a bit. You can take some pictures, explore. There's caves, and it's very cool. But so Everly and I are kind of like, let's get to the edge. Let's get out. And we look back because I'm like, the whole time I obviously am like, where's Kent?
Yeah, I'm glad.
But I don't want her to be worried, right? Mm-hmm. So we get out, and I look, and I'm like, where is he? Where is he? And then all of a sudden, out of the mouth of the cave, he comes like bobbing out with like the
talking to my new friend and his son,
filming and talking. I'm like, so there's no footage of us doing anything because he's with all these other people.
Really, there's no footage of anything because it was pitch dark and it's just underneath the water.
But then he finally comes out, and I'm like, babe, come over. And he comes, and I'm like, are you okay? And it was, and then we did take some family photos, and like he could breathe, and everything was okay. And we did swim back out together.
We did.
And then
what?
There were jellyfish. So Everly's story about this, she does love it, and it was very cool. But she got stung by a jellyfish. We all did. But it was. I mean, now I get what they meant. It was like little stings.
Yeah,
but there were. So, but not on the way in. So I think it's when the tide changes and the warmth of the water, and then obviously they float around and are in different places. Because going in was fine.
Right. But it's the scary part of having an underwater camera is you get to look at the footage later to see what you were swimming in.
Yeah, exactly. So we're actually lucky that we only got stung a couple times.
I did not want to see what I was swimming through. Yes.
But story goes that they're harmless jellyfish, and the sting is light. But then you go back out, and then it's just, everything about it's so amazing. But then you start seeing the tide coming, and you realize you do have to time this
that
absolutely
cave
perfectly.
Disappears.
The cave fills, and anyway, so that is why it's patrolled by the. I don't know what it'd be called there. I don't know who they are, but anyway, it's patrolled to make sure that it's safe for everybody to enter and come out, and they make sure that
Let me just say this: it's called Emerald Cave because the water is this gorgeous emerald green. With the light and the cave and the limestone, it is unreal. It doesn't look real. Many things that we saw didn't look real, especially that. They probably filmed a movie in that area we were in. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
But yeah, it was beautiful. It was worth it. It was worth the life jacket over my head. It was worth losing everybody and then finding him again. It was wonderful. So anyways, that's our quick story about the public versus the private tour. And again, Frenchitivity YouTube channel and the travel guide that Michelle will put up for you as well.
Yeah, that'll lay it out a little more clearly.
Do you want to hit a night market before we head out?
Oh yeah, because the night market in Koh Lanta is cool. It's a walking street, as they call it. So yes, there is a night market in Koh Lanta, and same kind of thing. The Thai pancakes and the food and the a festival. And actually, it's one of the only places, I think, market-wise, that we did buy some clothing at that night market. And it's awesome. Lights hanging over. It's a little bit different. It's a little more like organized of how you like walk the streets.
Yeah.
It's kind of more permanent and just like a walking market. It was very cool.
So I'm going to end this as we started talking about Bliss and the community, because what happened from this trip is by chance, serendipitous, if you will, that two families in particular, we ended up meeting along the way again.
Yeah.
One of them being the Gilberts.
Yeah.
Shout out to Evan, Michelle, Connor, Colin, and Julia, who became a good friend of Everly, from Indiana. Michelle's from Indiana. It's like, 2 degrees of Indiana, everything in my life now, which is wonderful. So they are terrific. And we saw them, obviously spent some time with them in Thailand, but then also in New Zealand and in Bali and Japan. Insane.
Yeah. It's these are the things when you're like telling stories once you get home and you're like, oh, and our friends, and we hung out here and here and here. And it's like, if you'd heard that before you did this, you're like, what are you saying? How does that even happen? And then that is the magic of what these communities and meeting other travel families give you, is that you are doing that together and you're experiencing it, and you've got kids around the same age, and you're like, talking about what is this doing for them and why are you doing this and what do you hope you take home with you? And it was just really incredibly special, and absolutely gave us the energy, the faith, the tenacity to keep going, to know we were doing the right thing, to know this was one of the most important things our family will ever do, and to just keep going.
And the Swamis, we mentioned them at the very beginning, another family that we spent a lot of time with. And both we met the Gilberts and the Swamis in Bali. And that's another podcast, but we spent a considerable amount of time with those two families. Still stay in touch with them. They're wonderful people. The Swamis from India. It just, again,
Gifts.
Salt of
Just
the earth,
gifts.
beautiful people that we are so thankful to have in our lives now. So this is at the end of part 3 for Thailand. And because we can keep talking, as you can tell by our enthusiasm and the sheer joy that we have talking about our trip to Thailand, we highly recommend it for you and your family, or just to you as an individual or a couple. I mean, it is wonderful to do, because coming up later, we're going to go to Koh Sak. We have the Koh Sak National Park. We stay in a treehouse. I mean, we do a lake tour. There's just more stuff. So anyways, that will be next time at some point. So Michelle, can you please tell everybody what we always ask them to do when it comes to our podcast?
Yes. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please follow along. We would love it if you give us a rating or review. It helps other people find the podcast and really helps spread the word about family travel, the destinations we've been to, and just kind of our whole thought process about what this opens up for you and your family. So please follow along, leave a review. It means so much to us. And once again, if you want the guides for any of the travel locations, but especially for Thailand, Frenchitivity.com/Thailand-3. Eventually we'll have a whole page where all the guides are, but right now it's just by the location name. And then also, if you want to join us on a priority list, we are forming a membership to help other families travel, create a blueprint so you can do something similar to what we did, and just live a more values-aligned life. So you can find that link in our show notes as well.
And I will write a blog on how to wear a life jacket and how not to lose your family in a dark cave.
Stay tuned for that one.
Stay tuned for that. If you want to watch us, of course you should, because we're highly entertaining. It's the Frenchitivity podcast on the Frenchitivity YouTube channel. Easy for me to say. Also, you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as Michelle mentioned. Again, thanks so much for joining us here on part 3 of our journey to Thailand. We look forward to talking to you very, very soon. And as always, we hope this conversation inspired you.
Frenchitivity, all over the